if we as humans traveled a bit more, and we're open to realize that everyone's got different ideas, and and live different ways, and they're neither right nor wrong. For example, in Italy, quite often stores aren't open on a Monday, or they shut between 12:30 and 3:30. And in our modern consumerist world, we go, how dare they shut the shop? But they've actually learned to live.
It's so interesting, Jeff. I would say, when people say, how do you get better at, understanding paradox and leveraging and managing tensions? And one of the, encouragements I have to people is to travel. If you are in a situation where you can kind of get out, and I mean, that ideally would be, somewhere outside of your proximity, but it could even be hang around with people different than you, deliberately work to spend time with people who see the world differently. And, what you realize through relationship is that, this different approaches and complexity, and it's actually a great thing. It's uncomfortable sometimes, and it's easier just to be around people and ideas just like me. But my favorite quote of the last few years was author Susan David said, "Discomfort is the price of admission to a meaningful life." And, I've got that on my office wall, because I'm like, that's where the magic is, right?
Yeah, exactly. I love that. I'm just writing it down.
Yeah, Dr. Susan David, discomfort is the price of admission to a meaningful life. Doesn't mean that we want to be unhappy and we're, causing ourselves pain, but it's just, recognizing that I got to push myself. I got to experience new things. I want to be pushed. There's an element of human nature often referred to as the confirmation bias, which means that when I have viewpoints, when I have values, I want them affirmed. That's why, if I'm leaning to the political right or the political left, I'll usually read magazines or go to news sources that support that point of view, because it makes me feel better. And yet, what we need to do is actually fight that confirmation bias and say, no, if I'm here, I actually want to see things and expose myself to things on the other side. Not, and it's this disposition, not that I'm wrong, but there's something I can learn. I don't have to exchange my viewpoints for yours, but I can expand my viewpoints. And, I think it was Niebuhr that has the quote, "Our truth is never the truth." If I can hold on to my values and actually have very strong values and principles and morals and viewpoints and, ideas on how the company should be run, and expose myself to resistance and to pushback and to different opinions, well, then we just make better decisions. Then we actually, experience life in a whole new way.